Welcome to this week's edition of the OCU Athletics Update. I'm Andrew Himes, and this week we're talking to Superstar Athlete of the Week, Katrina Nolan, and volleyball coach, Nikki Dieball.
I'm here with Superstar of the Week, Katrina Nolan. She's a freshman from Ontario, Canada, and she finished third overall in the SAC Cross Country Championships. Nolan and fellow freshman Arya Barani became the first OCU runners to qualify for the NAIA National Championships. You finished third in the SAC Championships. Talk about your performance in that race.
Okay, well this race, I had a little bit of a different strategy going into it. I was going to run a really smart race, so take out the first mile a little bit slower than my other previous races, save the energy for the middle and the end. So that's what I did, and it worked really well.
What does it mean to you to be one of the first OCU runners to qualify for nationals?
Really exciting. I feel like I have a great opportunity to be the first one to kind of make an impression of what cross-country running is through the school. So I have this crazy opportunity to show that and not have other impressions already made and things to live up to
so you're coming
from other
fresh.
runners. So it's so it's a really great opportunity that way.
Well, and you've already turned in several top finishes as a freshman this year. So what are some things that you've learned from those races?
Okay, well that kind of brings me back to my strategy going into this race. I took out some races a little bit too fast. So then I was kind of in the mindset to take out the first mile easy, and then, but not too easy, but just a good pace that would position myself really well to be able to perform well in the other 2 miles. So that was basically how I...
You'll compete in the championships on November 17th. What do you hope to gain from that experience?
I've heard it's a pretty big competition. It's like 300 runners. I've never really run in a field that big before. So that'd be a whole new experience in itself. And I'd just be able to have that experience under my belt and be able to say that for the first time I've made it to the American Nationals.
Yeah, that's quite the accomplishment.
It's really exciting for me.
What made you decide to come to OCU?
A lot of things actually. When you're looking for schools, for a school to go to, I feel like there's 2 major things that you look for. If you play a sport, it's the coaching as well as the educational system. So coaching, Coach Holt is a really amazing coach. He actually coaches you individually based on what you're capable of doing and has a plan just for you. And for the educational system, it's a really small school, small campus, and the student to professor ratio is like 11-to-1 or something like that. It's really good. So you get a lot of one-on-one time and be able to ask questions in class. The class sizes are small, so it's a really good education, and the professors are really looking out for you to do your best.
Is that what you're used to, like back home, just like a smaller environment?
Yeah, from a small school. I'm from a small school.
Can you tell us something about yourself that people don't necessarily know?
I could tell a little bit about my past in running. So I've been running my whole life. When I was in elementary school, I went to a public system for the first little bit, and they had a track and field program for the younger kids, which most schools don't have that until grade 4. So I've been running since then, and then I jumped into the public system and continued track and field. In high school, my coach there, Rick Nigro, he got me into doing hurdles and then steeplechase, which is more my style because it's a longer endurance race with also the barriers. So he really got me into that, and then also pushed me to take it a little bit more professionally and join a club. And then from the club, I came here.
Wow, that's a lot of involvement. Well, the NAIA Championships will take place on November 17th in Vancouver, Washington. And once again, we're here with Superstar of the Week, Katrina Nolan.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to volleyball coach Nikki Dieball. The Stars head into the conference tournament as the number 4 seed. They'll play 5th seeded John Brown at 1 o'clock on Friday in Shawnee on the Oklahoma Baptist University campus. And Coach, going into the conference tournament, what do you expect out of your team?
You know, we've worked so hard, and the girls are really coming together, and we've just been playing really well right now. So I just look for them to be really inspired and to come out just on fire, ready to go. I mean, they've been putting some really good volleyball together here lately.
You're playing 5th seeded John Brown, who you just played your regular season finale against John Brown and got a win in straight sets there. What do you expect from that matchup?
John Brown struggled a little bit throughout the season, but they always play really tough against us, and it's never going to be an easy match, especially when you get to the conference tournament. Everybody's 0-0 and, you know, really wanting to get to the next level and go to the national tournament. So I don't think it's going to be easy for us. We're definitely not going to be able to overlook them. They've got an outside hitter that's been hitter of the week twice this year, and she's really good. And they've got a middle that's really efficient as well. So we're going to have to show up and bring our best game against them.
How do you feel like your team has progressed from the beginning of the season to this point?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, as you know, we have 9 freshmen that we brought in, and so just in the whole chemistry aspect of things, we've just grown, and we've had our growing pains. Lord knows it's been up and down at times, but I constantly tell the girls to just stick to the vision that we have, and things are going to take care of themselves. If you play hard every day, then you're going to be rewarded for that. And I really think that, I mean, these girls have put in so much time and so much effort. I mean, just like every other team has. But I mean, we've gone through some of the ringers, but I'm just so proud of how hard they fight and how hard they continue to work every day. And we'd gone through a couple stretches there where we lost a few games in a row, but they always came into practice ready to work on the next thing and get better and forget it and go. And the thing about being a good athlete is sometimes you have to have a short memory. So we've been able to do that, and we're seeing the benefits of our hard work for sure.
You mentioned having 9 freshmen that you brought in, so obviously a lot of those are making an impact right now.
Yes.
Hannah Mitchum as a setter, and then frontline players like Rachel Gable. What can you say about your freshmen's performance?
Oh my gosh, they've done such a good job. I've been so proud of them. It's not easy, especially when you come into a team that has a rich tradition like OCU volleyball does, and sometimes it's hard to know your role and find your place. But these girls have really bonded together very well, and they crack me up, but they just work so hard, and they have such a passion for the game. And it was just refreshing when they stepped in the door on the first day of practice, because they bring their A game all the time, and they want to win. And it's just this relentless mentality of, I'm going to do whatever I can to win. And you see that in Hannah a lot. She, if you've watched any of our matches, she's on the floor constantly getting balls up that I don't think most people would normally get to. And she's just done such a good job of keeping us in our offense, even when our passing hasn't always necessarily been there. And I just look for her to grow so much over the next 3 years. And Rachel's done such a wonderful job for us. She's such a smart hitter, and just her ability to have wonderful ball control on the front line is huge for us and has been really, really key. And she's been just getting so much better. I mean, she's getting so much more power on her swing now. And so I look for all of those girls. I mean, I could go through the list and individually pick out each one, but they all just contribute more than I really ever imagined that they would, and they bring such a passion to the game.
Before the season started, you moved Danielle Robison over to the libero spot from her setter position. We talked to her a couple weeks ago here and told her she'd never played libero before. What's the transition been like, and why did you feel like that was going to be a good move?
Well, I knew Hannah was going to come in, and I knew Hannah, she's played at a really high level through club and through high school, and I knew that she was going to be a big factor offensively for us. And Danielle has always played really good defense. I remember even when I was at Mid-America watching Danielle from the setter's position play great defense. And so I just got to thinking about it, and I was like, I think she would be a wonderful libero. I mean, she's quick, she reads well, being formerly a setter, she knows how critical it is to have great passes to be able to be efficient offensively. And she did not even bat an eye when I asked her to do it. I mean, and that's what I love about Danielle, is she's just so willing. Whatever she can do for the team to help, that's what she wants to do. And so she said, "Coach, I don't care. I want to be on the floor. I don't care what capacity I serve in." And so that made my job a whole lot easier, because I didn't have the stress of having to, try to work and convince her. I mean, she just took it and ran with it, and she has just, blown my expectations. And, it's not always easy to go from a position where you have complete control of the offense to go to the defensive position. But I've told her that she's the captain of our defense. She's the one that's supposed to take control back there, and she has just done a wonderful job. And I know that she's going to do great things for us next year too.
What do you tell potential players, recruits about OCU when you're out visiting them?
Well, I first of all talk about just what a strong academic school we are, and that if you want a great education, this is where you need to be. If on the volleyball end, I'm going to push you. I'm going to try to make you uncomfortable, because I feel like that's how you grow. And these kids that come in already know how to play this sport, but if I can just help fine-tune them and strengthen them and build their volleyball IQ, then I think I've done my job. And so I just try to reinforce that they're going to have a great experience if they come to school here, both on the volleyball side, and we have such a great team, and they get along so well. And so we really have that family aspect about our team. And so a lot of kids are looking for that. It's not just the volleyball, it's not just the academics, but it's the whole experience together. And so I really feel like this university allows them to grow as individuals, to grow as athletes, and to have that whole package.
All right, we've been talking to OCU volleyball coach Nikki Dieball. Stars in action, the Senior Athletic Conference Tournament on the Oklahoma Baptist campus in Shawnee, 1 o'clock on Friday against John Brown. That's it for this week's edition of the OCU Athletics Update. Check back every week for all the latest in OCU sports.